on a sad note. There has been a terrorist attack, and I don't even like showing things like this on the show because I think it only makes people sad and anxious and disgusted, because that's what it makes me feel. And there's nothing that I can do to change the events, but there have been several events that have been happening in our country. Some of them are unexplainable, and almost all of them are disturbing and perhaps a harbinger of things to come. And looking at these events as isolated incidents is one way to look at them. Looking at them with some level of coordination, perhaps a lot of bad luck. These are the things that we don't know. But this video in particular that we have obtained is one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in my life. We're probably going to get demonetized on YouTube for showing you this, and I don't care, because as citizens, you need to see the full horror of what a terrorist attack on American soil is from an American who was born here. This is an American citizen who was born here, who committed an act of terrorism. And when you see it on video, it is one of the most, and I overuse this word, but heinous things that I have ever seen. If you have young children, please have them leave the room. If you have PTSD, please leave the room. But we're going to play this for you right now because you should see one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, an act of terrorism from an American citizen on American soil. Look at this video.
Let's make a show.
Let's go. I've always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it. Surprising people with moments that let them know I was really thinking of them.
What? This is probably one of the most glamorous moments of my life.
It's magic.
I'm gonna share some little tips and tricks. I see what color I gravitate to, and everything goes from there. And how you can incorporate these practices every day. That's what you want. You want that shape and texture. Come on. This is about connecting with friends. I love that we're doing this together for the first time. Making new friends. That is so good.
We family now.
And just learning. Look at how much honey we have.
Do you believe in magic?
We're not in the pursuit of perfection. Woke us all up. We're in the pursuit of joy. Love is in the details.
I have to do it totally wrong
To get it totally right. Look at what we made. Guy snoring. Peaceful day.
I don't call many things evil, but that's evil. And if you look at that and you see anything else than a demon from hell, I don't know what to say. I cannot help you. But that is a video of a terrorist attack on American soil from an American citizen, Meghan Markle, terrorist and baker, apparently. She's baking. This is what, astounds me about someone like Meghan Markle, and you almost have to respect it, and then we'll move on to the real terrorism that's actually plaguing the country, although that's not terrorism, by the way. What's astounding about her is she's been found out. The jig is up, and still she persists. Like there's no confusion about what she is or what she wants anymore. Everybody knows that everything she supposedly stands for isn't actually what she stands for. She's completely transparent. We get it. We know what she wants. She wants to hang out with rich, famous people and make them cupcakes. She doesn't care about social justice. She doesn't care about, none of it matters. She wants to make cupcakes with rich people in Santa Barbara. Not a bad life. Not exactly the life we were told she wanted to live, but it's always a life she wanted to live. And we know that, and everybody knows it, and she's still doing it. And Netflix, who I'm in business with to a degree, God bless. I don't know. I mean, she's got an in over there. I don't know what it is, but hey, nothing but positive things to say about my partners at Netflix, a great streaming service. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be a great show. I don't know. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps it will be a great show. Giving people little moments, which is, I believe, what the show is about. It's giving people little moments that they appreciate. A little raspberry here, an affogato there. Little moments that they can treasure and take with them. And I'm glad she's bounced back from all of the, people trying to kill her and attack her and chase her and all the things that she imagined were happening. And she's giving little moments. She's giving back. Giving a little moment here. Little moment, a little goat cheese here, a little Humboldt blue cheese there, little moments here. And I appreciate it. Unfortunately, it's not the only terrorism that's going on. There is actual terrorism. And a man in an exploded Cybertruck was an elite soldier, and he shot himself before the blast. Now, we don't know a motive here as of yet. We're recording this Thursday night. The man who drove a Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas was an active duty U.S. Special Forces soldier and shot himself dead before the blast. So here's what I'm saying, and I don't want to get in trouble about this. His name was Matthew Allen Livelsberger. Matthew Allen Livelsberger of Colorado Springs. Driver of the vehicle, which he rented more than 800 miles away and drove to the Nevada hotel on the morning of the blast. So we're just living in a time when we have these random acts of terrorism. The sheriff said investigators recovered a military ID, a passport, 2 semi-automatic pistols, fireworks, an iPhone, a smartwatch, and several credit cards in Mr. Livelsberger's name from the charred vehicle. The body in the vehicle was burnt beyond recognition. I'll say it again. Burnt beyond recognition, and was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, according to Las Vegas Sheriff Kevin McKay. I'm leaving for Vegas in a few hours to go to the scene of this crime to do my own investigation. I'm doing my journalism, actually. I'm doing Baccarat at the Wynn a little because I do appreciate a high-end Asian game. But I'm also going to kind of see what's going on here. And I'm hoping I'm not heading into the belly of the beast. 7 people were injured when the vehicle filled with fuel canisters and firework mortars exploded on New Year's Day. However, officials said all injuries were minor. Now, there is a conspiracy going around on X, and I don't know if it's a conspiracy or not. We just know that something is happening on X. And we have this. Supposedly, Matthew Livelsberger, a.k.a. Matt Berg, changed his signal safety number just before the explosion, and then his photo and safety number changed after the explosion. And this is something that people are chatting about on X. It's always strange when a body is burned beyond recognition. He's an active duty. I believe he was active duty military. And he's out there. We don't know a motive for this. Now, people snap all the time. People have problems, psychological problems that other people don't know about, and things like this happen. But there is also a history in America of lone wolf attacks from people that upon further inspection don't seem like they were lone wolf attacks. That's not insane. I'm not telling you the earth is flat. I'm saying that often when you look at a guy who is like a lone wolf guy that he just didn't have a network. He wasn't plugged in. He did his own thing. He marched to the beat of his own drum. He got a weapon and he went and he did something crazy. A lot of times when you look into that further, it's actually not the case. You have a crazy amount of coincidences around all of these things. I don't know enough about this yet. We don't know about these things. But we do know this is the Mr. I hate these names because Vegas, all these names never make sense, but it's Mr. McMahill. Said there are several parallels, but no definite link between the suspect in the incident in Las Vegas and the truck attack in New Orleans. You remember this? A military guy joined ISIS and drove his truck through a crowd on Bourbon Street and killed 14 people. And they both took place on New Year's Day. Both suspects served at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, though there is no record they served in the same unit or were there at the same time. They also both served in Afghanistan in 2009. There's no evidence they were in the same region or unit. Both also used rental company Turo for the vehicles involved in the incidents, Mr. McMahill said. We don't believe there's any further threat from this subject or anybody associated with him here in Las Vegas. I've heard from somebody who's in the CIA that Hezbollah has sleeper cells all over America. And they make a lot of money, and they send that money back to fund operations in Hezbollah, and that Al-Qaeda has some sleeper cells as well, though not as many as Hezbollah. The guy in New Orleans was a military guy. We just talked about all the similarities. He joined ISIS and then drove his truck through a bunch of people in New Orleans. And this is terrible. Like, if you read the descriptions of the suspects, these are like young people primarily living their life out in New Orleans. It's New Year's Eve. They all seem to be like, and I mean, who cares? I mean, it doesn't matter. Life is life no matter what. But when you read about these victims, they were all like people that were working and had good lives and had worked really hard and were out enjoying a well-deserved night out. And they are mowed down by a psychopath who's an American citizen who joined ISIS. And this guy's name is, what is his name? Is his name Tommy? What's his name? I'm sorry. Shamsuddin Jabbar. His New Year's massacre in New Orleans, he joined ISIS. He had a pickup truck with an ISIS flag, and it could embolden the terrorist organization to radicalize more Americans. It's an argument against both legal and illegal immigration, by the way. It is. It's actually an argument against both. If we're bringing people in, or they're being born here, and they're citizens, and they're joining the military, and they're still joining then ISIS, we're not doing a good job. There's no way that's the goal of any country's immigration system. The goal is to, like, assimilate people to where they go, one day I'll own a small business, or one day I'll have a house with a pretty picket fence and a yard, maybe a pool for the youngins. It's certainly not for them to join ISIS after being in our military. So now they have all the different skills. They have skills from us and skills from ISIS. That's not what we want. We don't want people getting all of the different, this guy's moonlighting in many different things. We don't want that. It's not ideal. Not good. That's not what we want. We don't want people joining our military going, well, I've learned a lot. Now let me go join ISIS as well, see what they've got to offer me. Then I'll drive a rental car down Bourbon Street on New Year's Eve because I believe in giving my life for the cause. This is part of the issue. And even if this is a very small, infinitesimal, statistical, non-event, very small group of people that would never even, It's so small, this group of people that get radicalized. They're so teeny tiny, you can't even see it. You'd have to get an electron microscope to see how small this group of people is. It would be right. Even it would be tremendously disruptive to have trucks like a guy in Germany in the Christmas market, however, who was some psycho that was a guy who was radicalized supposedly to the right, whether that's true or not, in Germany. This is a problem. You can't have people driving pickup trucks into crowds of people and killing them. And this was a guy who's clearly has some serious issues, and he seemed to be... In the first video, Jabbar explains he only planned to harm his family and friends. Well, I'm for that. Well, that's fine. I didn't know that's where he was going. I would have said to him, Jabbar, I get it, but was concerned that the news headlines would not focus on the war between the believers and the disbelievers. Believers in what, Jabbar? But again, this is my thing. ISIS is going to have a field day with recruitment now. ISIS, I'm telling you, if you are a recruiter in ISIS, you are going to have a field day. It is going to be easy for you to get people, because here's the deal. As America throws people in the street, as our financial system, I mean, when the CEO of a healthcare company gets shot and outside it's the Rose Bowl, you know that people aren't thrilled. They're not happy. Nor should they be. I mean, when a CEO of a company gets shot in the head in New York City and everybody is cheering that on, truly, like it's a ticker tape parade for their favorite baseball team, you have a population of people, can we say they're angry? Can we say they're frustrated? Can we say they're not happy? We can say all of those things, and I think we'd be correct to say it. Now you have people in ISIS that are recruiting going, man, we're going to be able to pick off a few people. Does it help that we brought a bunch of people into this country from countries that have sympathetic views towards ISIS? No, that doesn't help. That's not helpful. That we've imported lots of people from cultures that think ISIS is kind of cool. That's not great. We've done that. If you talk about it, if you suggest it, it's not a good idea. If you say, let's maybe, take it down a notch with that, you're dismissed as a Nazi, racist, KKK, psychopath. You're a problem. You're in a militia. If you question at all the wisdom of importing cultures that have nothing to do with Western civilization and in fact, abhor it. And some of them, by the way, for reasons I can understand, because we've been fucking around in their countries for a while, and nobody was, I wasn't doing it, but it's been the policy of our country to do things all over the world that aren't great. And then these people show up and they go, by the way, we're going to hit you people where you live on Bourbon Street. And I'm not saying it's justified or good, but we can say, is it not a great idea to be all over the world in everybody's business and then importing people from those cultures into our country and just seeing what happens? It's like that Bravo, the Bravo, watch what happens. That's every time I think about our immigration policy and our foreign policy and how they're linked, it's the Bravo, the network Bravo's 3 fucking word little teaser. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. And we're seeing it. But what caused the 42-year-old Jabbar, here, go back up. What caused the 42-year-old Jabbar, a U.S. citizen raised in Texas, to be radicalized remains unknown. I'm going to guess it might be the religion. That I'm going to tell you right now, a part of it's going to be the religion. But what caused 42-year-old Jabbar, U.S. citizen raised in Texas, to be radicalized remains unknown? What caused him to do it? It's going to be a little bit of the religion. I'm telling you. It's going to be a little bit of that. I'm not saying we haven't made mistakes in that part of the world, but I'm telling you right now, the going and dying for something committing an act like that and then dying for the cause seems to be at least tangentially related to the religion. It seems to have there seems to be a corollary. He was maybe looking for some types of answers. Abdur Jabbar told Reuters in an interview at his home in Beaumont, Texas, noting that his brother had recently renewed his Muslim faith after abandoning it in his 20s and 30s. Interesting. I'm wondering if that was any type of tell. I could be wrong. I'm just curious if that was perhaps a tell. He was smart, funny, charismatic, loving, compassionate, humble, and literally wouldn't hurt a fly. Oh, okay. That's lovely. That's why it's so devastating. This degree of maliciousness is not like him. We were trying to understand what changed too. And, well, he faced financial struggles. His father suffered a stroke. But here's the deal. There's a lot of people that face financial problems in America. A lot of people's families have strokes. A lot of people, very few of those people get in a car and drive it down a crowded street on New Year's Eve. He was deployed in Afghanistan in a non-combatant role. We've made a big mess, haven't we? Doesn't it feel like a big mess? It feels like a big mess. We were in an unwinnable war. It was a bad idea. Guys like this one over there witnessed God only knows what. Now they're back. There's no mental health care. They're all insane. And now they're renting the cars on Turo. I rented a car on Turo once. It was a 7 Series BMW. And I drove it very fast in Palm Springs. And this piece of shit goes, I have a thing on my car. It shows you went 107. It's like, fuck you. Fuck you. It's neither here nor there. The point is, fuck Turo, too, unless they advertise. Because it is a good, here's the thing. Let's be honest about Turo and send this clip to them. It does seem convenient. I will say it does seem convenient to get. But, of course, you know, this does seem to be a big mess. This is why you can't expect all of the things you do in the world to not matter, and you cannot expect everyone that you open the door of this country to not engage in these activities. This is going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. And this is, I think, one of the main reasons. Jabbar also said in the videos that he had joined the Islamic State before last summer and provided his last will and testament, according to Raya. Wait, well, hold on. Why is he on Raya? It's for celebrities.
No, that's...
Oh, wait.
The FBI.
Oh,
deputy.
Christopher Raya. Christopher Raya is a deputy assistant director of the FBI. I thought he was on Raya, the dating service for people that have lots of followers. I was like, Raya could cause anyone to drive a truck through a crowded group. Jabbar did not have a violent criminal record prior to his attack, though he was sentenced to 12 months probation for driving under the influence. Here's the thing. When someone gets very devout in the Muslim faith, you run a little bit of a risk. I don't want to sound insensitive about it. But you run a little bit of a risk, by the way. Just like if you started doing end times Christianity on me, you start doing the survivalist stuff, you start going hard in that direction, it's never an indication that your mental health is ideal. It's never an indication that things are great. If you start with the end times, prophecy, doomsday cult stuff. So now we're going to look inside the Bourbon Street home of this attacker, because they said he was living in squalor, but I don't know. Photos of the inside of his home in a majority Muslim neighborhood in North Houston revealed multiple copies of the Quran, a book on Christianity, and a book about teaching children about Islam. Yeah, I mean, this, again, doesn't look great for the argument that the diversity being the strength. I'm trying not to be pessimistic about all of the diversity that's ideal and necessary and at all times are good. It might not be always a good. It might be good sometimes. Sometimes diversity can be really, really good. You know what I mean? People always bring up the food, which I get. Ooh, yum, yum. Look, different kinds of food. Not always as good when you're standing on Bourbon Street and there's a truck in your back. That's not good. That's not ideal. We don't want that. Diversity has many angles. Yum, yum. Rice, halal food, good. And I'm just saying, like, can we not admit that it's a little bit of a double-edged sword? Is it not okay? And there's Muslims that watch the show who probably agree with me, by the way. I mean, it's just what it is. It's not, you can't, there's a lot of people that left that part of the world to get away from the religiosity, the conflicts. And then there's a lot of people that are coming to this part of the world to bring with them the religiosity and the conflicts. And I don't know who's who. That's tough. That's difficult. It's not easy to figure out exactly who is which. You go, so how do you feel about ISIS? What do you think? Good? Bad? Or it's complicated? Like, I don't know how. A next-door neighbor who asked not to be identified told Fox News Digital that he had seen Jabbar loading up a white pickup truck on Tuesday outside of his Houston home the morning before the attack. The neighbor said he spoke with Jabbar, who told him he had gotten a job, was moving to Louisiana. Interesting. Huh. Well, this is the house. Can we see it?
Yeah.
An exterior view of Shamsuddin Jabbar's home in Houston. I got to be honest. Go back up. Make it a little larger. I'm going on curb appeal only. I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it. It seems, is it a trailer? It seems like a modular home. It's a trailer on a foundation.
Yeah.
Go down. Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's a little more charming because you have to see the yard. The problem is that people who lived in the military shouldn't live like that. I mean, people who served in our military shouldn't really live like that. Like we should give them more. They're making a sacrifice for America that we should give them more. I don't know that, again, a lot of terrorists or people that spread an ideology of radical Islam aren't poor. The bin Laden family wasn't poor. A lot of people, the Wahhabis in Saudi Arabia, a lot of them are not poor. The Qatari royal family is not poor. All of these people, it's not easy to say. But now the poor people are the ones that are often willing to just go blow themselves up because they don't have much to lose. So I don't think it's an economic issue, but we shouldn't have people fighting in our military that come to live in those if that can be helped. Now, we can't obviously insulate people from every decision they make. I like, this is not a fun the fun terrorist attack to me is the Cybertruck where no one really gets hurt and it was clearly done by the feds. This is not as fun. This is like a real one where people died. We've got the usual suspects back and I sound racist discussing it and it's not fun. I like the one where they clearly did this in a Cybertruck to make a point outside of the Trump. I mean, if I'm going to choose a terrorist attack, it's clearly this fake one by the FBI in Vegas. This other one's too depressing and there's too much to think about. It's the beginning of the year. I want to focus more on this clearly staged fake terrorist attack that the FBI did outside of Trump's building for whatever reason. And by the way, don't expect any of this to end. Don't expect the drones and hot air balloons they'll start with soon. And I'm telling you, they are going to turn up the heat here. on everything. Planes can't land anymore. Landing gear just doesn't deploy. Planes all over the world, nothing's working. Planes are crashing in to places. There's fog all over the country. Obviously, hopefully it's just fog. We don't know. Hope they're not spraying bird flu everywhere. I don't think they are, but someone sent me that text while I was sleeping. But I don't know. So it just does seem odd that it's before the inauguration. It's like the plagues. It's like the biblical plagues before this inauguration that they're unleashing. It feels like to me, and I could be wrong, China's about to take Taiwan like yesterday. China is getting very yappy about Taiwan. They're very vocal about it. They're not shutting up. They're saying no one can stop the reunification of Taiwan and China, the family, the one China. And as a country, we have never deviated officially from the one China policy where we don't recognize Taiwan. I mean, we give money to Taiwan. We beef up their military. See, this is what we're doing. We beef up people's military. And we go, here's some money. Here we go. China adds to sanctions of U.S. defense contractor over Taiwan arms sale. So now China's going, hey, fuck you. You're going to give Taiwan arms. We are going to sanction you. China started the year with a broadside against U.S. defense contractors, responding to recently ramped up Taiwan arms sales by the Biden administration, laying down a fresh warning to President-elect Donald Trump. Beijing's Ministry of Commerce on Thursday blacklisted 10 companies as unreliable entities, barred from doing business in China, and said it would block an additional 28 from buying unspecified components that could have dual civilian and military uses. Most of the defense contractors named have previously been sanctioned by China and have little trade with the country, unlike some of the hundreds of Chinese entities with U.S. operations targeted in punishments by Washington, such as Huawei Technologies. I can never pronounce that. How do I pronounce? Do you know how to pronounce it? Huawei. I think you did it.
Is that Huawei?
I think it's Huawei. I believe it is. I think you're right. But so we play this game with China all the time where we're fucking with each other and, sanctioning each other and going, because China just hacked China just did a major hack, I believe, of the Department of the Treasury. What did they hack, China, recently? They just did a big hack. Yeah, right. Right. So the Treasury Department, China's hacking them. Treasury Sanctions Office hacked by Chinese government. A troubling series of breaches of U.S. firms and agencies could intensify friction between Washington and Beijing. So as Trump is about to take office, we're on this collision course with China. We're in this kind of not quite a hot war, not even quite a cold war, but the beginnings of a problem with China. It's all over Taiwan. China wants Taiwan. And I told you I don't like it, but I'm going to guarantee that they get it. I'm, for the sake of humanity, Tim Dillon, for the sake of human beings on this earth thriving, I am going to guarantee the policy of the Tim Dillon Show from here on in is a one China policy that believes that the reunification, and I'm telling China, I hope you're watching. Hope you're watching. Love you guys. Love you long time. Not to be racist, but that is fun to say. The policy of the Tim Dillon Show is a one. I'm saying it. Who's saying this? Are they going to say it at the Golden Globes? Is Nicole Kidman saying it? No. They don't have the balls. Just the policy of the Tim Dillon Show. After thought, after deliberation, I like a Z-Pack. I like my antibiotics. They make them in China. We have a one China policy on the Tim Dillon Show. We believe that China and Taiwan, it's an inevitable reunification. And I'm sorry to my Taiwanese fans, of which I have very few or almost none. I don't like it. I don't like it either. But I'm going to have to help this because we cannot go and have a war with China and end all life on Earth. So I'm just saying, I'm saying to Taiwan, I love you. And I love everything you're about. But because I want peace in this world, it's time. Beijing's claim to Taiwan is its preeminent source of friction with the U.S. Yeah, of course. China regularly flexes military muscle with jet fighters and warships. I know they want it. No one can ever sever the bond of kinship between us. This is President Xi talking to Taiwan. No one can ever sever the bond of kinship between us, and no one can ever stop China's reunification, a trend of the times. Well, the Tim Dillon Show will not be stopping it. Call me a coward and a traitor. Fine, I've been called worse. I'm not stopping it. In fact, I'm getting on board now because I actually think families should be together again and put together. I do. And you guys, can you hash it out and get it together? I don't like all this fighting. You know, while the Trump administration sold Taiwan more weapons, the Biden administration sold Taiwan better weapons for Taiwan self-defense. I'm saying this. We really need, it's going to be, and China's sanctioning all these guys, General Dynamics, Lockheed, Raytheon, and Boeing's Defense Space and Security Unit. A lot of these guys were already on the no-no list. China already put them on a no-no list. Huawei, whatever, because they hacked the phone. They're on a no-no list over here. TikTok's on the no-no list, except it makes too much money, so we're not going to ban it. What happens is we put the company on the no-no list. You go on the naughty list if you're naughty. If you have a backdoor in your technology that allows for surveillance capability, you go on the no-no list, the naughty list. It's a lot of corporate espionage. That's a lot of what's going on, and that's the fight. The fight is the cell phones. It's the TikTok. It's the apps. It's not just the air and the land and the water. The fight starts on social media with YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. That's the fight. What's going on the no-no? They put Meta on the no-no list. Facebook's on the naughty list in China because Facebook allows people to pop off and run there, and they flap their gums, run their mouth. China's not about that. China doesn't believe the strength of a population is chatter, talking. So we're seeing this war play out with the different companies, the different economic interests, because we're so intertwined. This is what I hoped would save us, that our kids need to be overprescribed Chinese antibiotics so that they grow up and are eventually killed by antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Our little bronchitis-prone children need those Z-Packs to clear their little lungs so they can keep vaping. I hoped this economic alliance would save us. I hoped and I prayed that our influencers needed to dance in their kitchens to make a living, because we don't educate anybody anymore. So that the Chinese TikTok app, although probably a facial recognition software tool, sure. But I thought because we needed it for our economy, that we couldn't go to war. That's what we need to do. We need to destroy our countries long term. That's why we got all our fast food over there, making them fat and pigs. Long-term destruction, economic destruction, not exchange of missiles. We all go bye-bye in 5 minutes. No good. Long game, long-term. They go at our universities. We go at their waistlines. We fill their malls with garbage and poison and plastic food. We rot their brains with our entertainment and our pop culture. We introduce terms to them like demigender. That's our long game. I've gone the other way on the woke stuff now. It might be the only way to fight, to just confuse people. But this is the only thing that we can hope for here is a long, prolonged war where our economic engine is continually coming up with things to destroy and impoverish our enemies and their children, as they have with us. We come up with new apps that encourage antisocial behavior and violence. We sexualize people. We get them to throw their morals away. We destroy them one by one. We destroy them with the products right on their phone, and they do the same to us. They do the same to us. We dumb them down. We export the Costco family. In China, they're running around. Double chocolate cookie. Double chocolate cookie. Their brains melt in their heads like the people here. Can't we destroy them the way we've destroyed ourselves? I hope we're trying. I hope we're trying. It's the only hope. And Taiwan, you better get on board. I'm sorry, Taiwan, but I'm going to have a stern talking to with you. I'm having a stern talking to you right now. The policy of the Tim Dillon Show is one China, yes or yes. I'm choosing my ally, and it's Xi. Me and Xi. And Barry Weiss and Batya Yanga Yaga and the whole free press and whoever the hell, Ann Applebaum, you want to go fight him? Honey cakes, get in the fucking aircraft carrier and head out to the South China Sea. I'll be in Miami. If you want to fight them, all you neocon war babies, if you want to fight them, get on the aircraft carrier. I'll be in Miami. Let me know how it goes. Upload your results to TikTok. Okay? Because I'm not fighting them over Taiwan. We're not fighting them over Ukraine. Call Putin right now. It's his. Any of you fucks want to keep sending poor kids to fight these wars, get on the aircraft carrier yourself. Brett Stevens at the Wall Street Journal, all you guys who want to editorialize, Jonah Goldberg, everybody get on the aircraft carrier and go. Please do not let me stop you. Do not let me stop you. I will be at Hillstone and Santa Barbara with Steve Bannon. If he'll come, I think he will. More could be in store once Trump returns to the White House, as the president-elect has vowed significant new pressure on Beijing, including with tariffs. Well, I understand some of the economic tariffs. Let's take the temperature down on the war. I understand some of the tariffs, and I understand that, and I think some of that has a very understandable place in the economic policy, not maybe widespread all over the place tariffs, but trying to correct trade imbalances, trying to protect American jobs, trying to incentivize companies to build plants here and hire American workers. That's why the whole visa thing with Elon and Vivek went left, because people were like, we did not elect this administration to hear about how talented people were from in other countries. I'm sure they're talented there. That's great. But that was not why anyone elected Trump, so that his surrogates could come out and talk about how talented engineers were in other countries. Okay? Trump told the Wall Street Journal's editorial board that Xi wouldn't dare move against Taiwan because he said Xi sees Trump as crazy. But if he did, I would say, if you go into Taiwan, I'm sorry to do this, I'm going to tax you 150 to 200%. Well, that's fine. I think a tax might be good. If you do something, we're going to tax you. I'm hoping everybody can we need to take the temperature down. What is the fog? We got fog everywhere. We've got fog. They're blowing the bird flu in everyone's lungs. I'm kidding. That's probably not happening. But it is funny. I scared this valet. I stayed at this hotel and I scared this valet. He goes, what's with the fog? I go, it's the bird flu. They're blowing it around. He goes, what? Mystery as thick fog sweeps the U.S. with reports of burning chemical smell. This is the Daily Mail. What's in that fog? What's going on there? I don't know about this. A thick fog is sweeping across the U.S. with locals in multiple states reporting how a burning chemical-like smell has blanketed their communities. By the way, I mean, isn't it lovely? Isn't it a lovely time? Concerned Americans have flooded social media with videos of what looks like white particles raining down and swirling in the air. Some witnesses have also claimed the fog has also triggered health symptoms similar to a respiratory illness. Here's the other thing. It's cough and cold season. It's flu season. COVID's still around. Lots of nasty colds. I had a cold a few weeks ago. It was nasty. It wasn't COVID or RSV or the flu. It wasn't anything, just nasty cold, and it's nasty. Different viruses are running around. It's just what it is. I don't know that this fog is the reason for this. I don't know. But by the way, we've got a lot of pollution and chemical irritants. I don't know. Go to that article, What's Behind Minnesota's Recent Streak of Fog, on CBS News. Interesting. Let's play this woman. Maybe she knows. Maybe she'll tell us. I hope she doesn't say they're... She just goes, well, they're aerating the bird flu and spreading it.
No surprise, we're in the dense fog advisory again. Now, this should persist until about midnight, and then we'll actually see some improvement. We're not going to feel improvement around here. We have some much colder air coming our way, but let's get back to the fog since we'll be dealing with it tonight. Here's Lisa Meadows with an explainer of the different types of fog we've been dealing with.
This is chemical bird flu fog. Now, there's different types of fog. There's a mist that comes off the ocean. This is a CIA fog that's actually the bird flu, the H1N1 bird flu, that they've aerated in a laboratory, and they're blowing it all over the country to kind of aerate and set the pandemic on the wind. What that'll enable them to do is clog the hospitals. It'll absolutely protect our pharma complex and completely destroy any chance the new administration has to do anything. Back to you, Tom.
Fog forms when your temperature cools to your dew point. When that happens, you get condensation. Basically, it's like a cloud that forms at the ground.
I have a gun to my head. Tom, there's a gun to the back. There's a gun to my back. This fog, which has not let up for 17 days, is absolutely normal. It smells metallic, and if you breathe it in, you cough blood. But that's exactly normal for this time of year. Bird flu, aerated pandemic fog is an absolutely normal thing.
Types of fog, and this weekend was unique because we had the setup for two different types to occur. So first, advection fog.
Yes.
This happens when you have the cold land
Yes.
surface. We had all that snowpack on the ground heading into the weekend, right? Well, then we had a warm, moist air mass move over that. We had the rain come in. We had a tie of a record high on Saturday at
Which
MS.
one is the bioweapon? Which part of the fog is the biological agent?
So what happened is we had that warm, moist air come in, and then it cooled down to saturation, and that caused that fog to form. Then we had a break in the clouds, actually, on Saturday, and we had the opportunity.
By the way, this, and I'm not trying to be conspiratorial, but this doesn't even sound like, this sounds weird. And I'm not even trying to be conspiratorial about it. This sounds odd. Like, there's something weird. She seems uneasy saying all of this. Like, this doesn't seem like she's like, well, this fog is the result of the mist and the snowpack and the dew point, and, well, I don't know. There's something about it that just, she seems uneasy. It's probably nothing. It's probably just fog, but this bitch isn't convincing me and doesn't seem that great.
For radiation fog to form, we had the clear skies allowed for temperatures to drop. We had calm winds, so we didn't get any mixing of the atmosphere, and that allowed for that radiation fog to form. So all these ingredients allowed for foggy days to continue even into today. Now, out at MSP, it was the 5th time on record that we ended up having 20 hours of a half-mile visibility or less. The good news is we'll have a change. We have cold air coming in, wind shifting.
The good news is we'll soon all be dead. Dead.
The north, so that'll end this fog. It should clear up here as we head into about midnight.
All right. Well, by the way, I'm hoping that she's right, that it's the dew point and the, because I'm not a meteorologist, and it's the cold and the heat and the steam and the whatever she said. I hope she's correct. I hope she's on point. I hope she's on the ball. I'm not rooting for whatever else the hell's going on. Somebody goes, those are alien spores. Internet reacts as fuck. I can't even handle it anymore. I'm a conspiracy guy. I can't even handle the conspiracies anymore. I'm just in my bed with the phone going, stop it. I can't handle alien spores in the fog. There's got to be something. There's got to be one normal day. Can we have one normal day? Can there be one normal period of time when we're not talking about alien spores in the fog and when somebody doesn't blow up a Tesla? The UK is experiencing crazy fog, too. Reports from around the globe are surfacing of mysterious illnesses linked to encounters with so-called chemical fogs. Go to that Shadows of Ezra. Described as thick, lingering blanket, the fog has left people sick, many experiencing sudden cold or flu-like symptoms after only a brief exposure. Weird. People are saying it's FogVid 24. A lot of these things are going viral on X. And listen, let's hope that humanity's losing its mind. Because, by the way, this is also what happens when people go crazy. They start thinking everything is a problem. This is what happens when the whole country becomes schizophrenic. Now, it is either, but it doesn't help that there's drones hovering around and nobody knows why. And that the media is going, they're actually not there. And people are going, no, we see them. The media is going, they're actually not there. You're a hysteric. So when nothing makes any sense and you can't trust anything, you become schizophrenic, effectively. So that could mean that something as regular as fog is driving people insane. I'm not saying it's not metallic and weird, and I don't know, because fog can carry smells and whatever, and it could also be pollutants and all the other shit. But there's also a possibility now that we're having a mass psychosis because we've been fucked with so much on every level. People are starting to lose their mind. And people are going, this is completely insane. And we're acting right now like we're either on the brink of a nuclear war or we're on the brink of an alien invasion. This seems to be the accepted wisdom of all the people you speak to. By the way, and these aren't like Looney Tunes. These are like people, like high-ranking officials. These are people who either believe we're like on the precipice of a conflict with a foreign government or aliens are about to land or both. And then most people go, both. You literally, I have conversations with people, they go, we're in a big conflict with a foreign government and then the aliens are probably going to land maybe to prevent that conflict. And you have to go, what? Wait, what? And then you have to just get a croissant or something. There's nothing else to do. You got to go along with your humdrum bullshit life after this. You just have to go do dumb shit, like at a car wash, and just stand there as they're washing your cars. A bunch of guys are wiping down your car, and you have to think about whether it's aliens or a nuclear attack or both, and which one comes first. And is there going to be a big disclosure project? And it's like crazy. We're living in a time of peak. And so either we're living in the most historic time ever, or we're all insane. Or, to take a page from the book of people that I've talked to, both. We are all insane, and it's a historic time, and that doesn't help. If this is the craziest time ever, and we're about to see and hear all these crazy things, we need to be rational and clear-eyed. And there's nothing more disturbing than having aliens land to a planet of schizophrenics. You imagine that? The aliens land, and they should reveal themselves. It was like, oh, fuck you, it's fraud. You government fraud. Aliens like, what? Oh, yeah. We've seen this. We've seen this act. I don't know what the hell's going on. Here's more fog. More fog. Oh, what is this? Is this
Tesla?
This is fog from the Tesla burning. This is the burning Tesla. Play us a little more of this. I like this terrorist attack. If I'm going to go with a terrorist attack, it's this one, which is clearly fake.
Put it outside the Trump International Hotel Wednesday morning.
Smoke was coming from inside of the truck after we noticed the flash and the explosion, and I'm going to show you that first video. That's the Cybertruck parked right in front of the doors.
At a joint news conference Wednesday afternoon.
Show that again. This is the video of the Tesla Cybertruck exploding outside of the Trump Hotel in Vegas.
This video, that's the Cybertruck parked right in front of the doors.
At a joint news conference Wednesday afternoon.
So what this stuff seems to do, I don't know who's doing it. Maybe it is this military guy. But what this stuff does is it's just the random nature of all of this craziness is supposed to rattle people and destroy any sense of safety that they have and cause them to go insane because they become incredibly anxious and they become, terrified of all things. And these random events that happen are supposed to impress on people that public safety is not guaranteed. It is a risk to go anywhere and do anything. And I mean a big risk. Things are blowing up. People are driving down. And again, these are random acts, or they're not. We don't know. It's fog, or it's spores, or it's aliens. We don't have any clue about anything. We're just going to watch Meghan Markle make a cupcake at the end. Like, that's the last thing we have. Could that show be happening at a more perfect time? There are drones the size of SUVs over people's homes. Cars are exploding in the middle of the street. Terrorists from ISIS, who we fucking have in our own military, are driving Turo rental cars down Bourbon Street and killing good people. Fog is blanketing the country for days. People are getting sick. Maybe it's alien spores. Maybe it's not. What is an alien spore? What's going on? And in the middle of all this, this psychopath will not stop. She will not stop. She doesn't care what happens. If the aliens land, if China launches, if Russia drops the big one in Ukraine, it won't matter to this bitch. She doesn't care. Play it again.
Let's make a show.
Let's go. I've always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it.
Stop it for 1 minute. She's the only reason America may survive. Let me say this right now, and I mean this. She's the only person who's stayed focused through this time. Everyone else, including myself, has been all over the fucking map. We've been led astray. We've been prey to disinformation. We've been following people down halls that lead to nowhere, going down rabbit holes to nothing. I was afraid to roll my window down the other night in Beverly Hills because of the dumb fog. It's crazy. We're all nuts. People are staring at the sky, waiting for aliens to zap them. One person has kept their focus. And yes, it's Baal, it's a demon. But one American person has kept their focus through all of this. Meghan Markle.
People with moments that let them know I was really thinking of them.
What? This is probably one of the most glamorous moments of my life.
It's magic.
I'm going to share some little tips and tricks. I see what color I gravitate to, and everything goes from there. And how you can incorporate these practices every day. That's what you want. You want that shape and texture.
That's right.
Come on.
This is about connecting with friends. I love that we're doing this together for the first time. Making new friends. That is so good.
We family now.
No matter what happens, no matter if we're nuked, no matter if it takes 1 billion years, no matter if aliens land, this will always be the zenith. We'll always just go right back to this. We will always go back to a self-important cunt selling cake to people before it all goes haywire again. Before the planet burns, before another ice age, before the aliens come, before fog blankets the earth, before we're all killed. I'm telling you right now, society will always rebuild back to this. There's nothing else. Society will always build back to this bitch in a beekeeper outfit making honey. It will always build back to this because there's nowhere else to go. That's the great irony here. That's the great irony of the human experience. There's nowhere else really to go. This is it. Every time society gets to this, they have to nuke us and blow up the whole thing, and we got to start again. The Sumerian tablets and the aliens land, and they go, how about you do it this way? And, hey, this is math, and, oh, cool, and then the Middle Ages, and, oh, there's medicine. You don't have to use the leeches, and how about flight? You want to fly? And then you get, oh, cool, a computer. That's weird. Oh, it fits in your hand. And then no matter what, we always get to this. We'll always just get to this. I like to give people little moments, little things. I start with a color that inspires me, and I just move on from there. A little raspberry here, some flowers here. They're edible flowers. It always gets, this is the place. And I guarantee you that we've done this before. We've been here before. We can feel it. We know it. We've been here before. Society will only ever get to this. And at this point, when we are doing this, when this bitch is drinking tea that's when it's time to shut it all down and start over. And each time the aliens sit there, and each time they go, I wonder if it'll be different this time. I wonder if they'll get to another point this time. What happens? And every time it's a Meghan Markle, and every time she moves into the castle, and every time she gets offended, and every time she leaves, and every time they go, well, maybe good for her. What's she going to do now? And then every time she gets to deal with Spotify and Netflix, and then every time she makes a bunch of bullshit, and then every time she starts a lifestyle brand and fires all her employees, and half of them quit because she's a cunt, and then every time she ends up with this Netflix show where she's in a beekeeper outfit, every time. And the aliens, they're running the simulation going, just one time we'd wonder what would happen if they made other choices. Just one time we wonder what would happen. Just one time we go, do you think they'll get to this point and not do this? But every time, like clockwork, no matter what, time doesn't matter up there. So to us, it's billions and billions of years. To them, it's just every day. You go to the office, you click on, is it still this bitch? Is it still the honey? Is it still the cupcakes? Is this still what they're doing? Finish it up here.
Learning. Look at how much honey we have.
Do you believe in love?
We're not in the pursuit of perfection. Woke us all up. We're in the pursuit of joy. Love is in the details. I have to do it totally wrong to get it totally right. Look at what we made.
And every time the alien sees this, every time they see this trailer, they just look at the other alien and they go, and then the other alien just shakes their head. It's nonverbal at this point. And then they press a button and they delete the simulation. And then they go back in the next day. The alien's taking off his coat. Walks into the room, and they're staring again, and she goes, look at how much honey we have. And they just go, and it's just, and eventually they'll have to give up on us. Eventually they'll have to realize that no matter what they do, no matter how many chances they give us, it's just going to be this bitch making cupcakes and having glasses of white wine. That's all it really is here. So, guys, however you do it, fog, exploding cyber trucks, cars going too fast, whatever you're going to do, nukes, drones, whatever it is, you can do it until your little heart's content. We will never not be stupid cunts in Santa Barbara making cupcakes for our dumb cunt friends. It's who we are. That's who we are. That's what you got. So you might as well not nuke us. You might as well not nuke us. You might as well call the drones back and just let this puppy percolate and maybe taste those cupcakes because they're probably not that bad. Don't expect too much from us, and you're not going to get it. Good night.